Howdy folks, today I want to talk about the Topping L50 amplifier. This is not a DAC, just a strict amplifier. Looks about like this. Not super heavy. If we give it a knock test, sounds pretty good. I could do a knock test on a Burson here. Let's see here. Oh, definitely a lower frequency, so I'm suspecting that the Topping is a much better quality amplifier just by the knock test alone. All right, let's move on to the features. So this is a single-ended output headphone amplifier, meaning both of these are single-ended outputs. This 4-pin XLR connector is included for cables you might happen to have, but it's not balanced. Does it matter? No, I don't think so. Basically, the power on both single-ended and quote-unquote balanced connector is the same, which is, I believe, 3 watts. I'll have to look at that again. It's very, very high output performance for a $220 amplifier. So, as you can see here, we have this is the overall gain. So we have low, medium, high. Nice quality switch there. I would say that I'm not super happy about fingerprints get onto this real easy, and I don't know, that may bug people. I know it bugs some people, especially about Apple products. Knob is nice and high quality. There's no detents in the knob, so and there's also no markings. You got like minimum, maximum, and that's about it. And over here we have the power switch, and the power light is very small. It's right here. Let's see if you can see it. Honestly, I kind of wish the light was a little bit brighter. It's really hard to see, so you're not sure if you have this on or off, but there's the switch. So it goes from off to balanced inputs on the back, and I'll flip it around, and then we have single-ended inputs on the back. So let's flip it around. I'll just turn it off. Then we'll look at the back. We got these two are balanced TRS connector inputs. Left and right. Then we have single-ended left-right RCAs. I didn't pull these off, but these are pass-throughs. So that means that if you run this in line with, say, like studio monitors or I don't know, some kind of a rig that you might have, you can plug RCAs in and then back out of this into whatever else, and it'll just pass that through. As well, also for the balanced output connectors, 15-volt AC input, and that's interesting. Power adapter here, I'll just show people it, is this guy. Very, very, very heavy. You can tell there's a gigantic block of copper in this, a transformer. But interestingly enough, this doesn't output DC. I just thought it was interesting. But I don't ever hear any kind of like mains hum, 60 hertz hum with this adapter and this amplifier. So as far as I'm concerned, it's that works. And so that's, let's see, there is a USB-C right here, which is for firmware updates, and I haven't played with that at all, so I don't know why it would need one, but maybe it does. But apparently it's got some digital controlling chip inside of there, which is why you'd have a firmware update, but USB-C on this. In terms of other things, so I'm the wrong guy to talk about with this in terms of headphones. I don't use headphones. If I'm at my house, I'm using speakers, and I've got a lot of them. So I'm going to be rating this only on in-ear monitors, IEMs. That's my deal. And so as a result of that, really, I'm only ever going to be using low and medium maybe on this, depending on the headphone. But as long as you get your gain staging okay, then this should be, basically low gain should do it for probably 99% of headphones. And let me just flip over to this real quick. So let's type in Topping. What do they have, like a another brand? Isn't it Bottom? I'm not sure. Oh, no, that's probably not right. All right. I did get this unit from Apos Audio. I wanted to give them a shout out. It's just for testing. Probably be sent to some other testers. So we can see here that this comes in a few different colors. You can do black, silver, blue, and red. Hey, that's cool. Color match your stuff. They did sell this in a combo, so this is just the, like I said, the L50 amplifier. They have a DAC. I haven't tested. I don't know anything about it, but so this is just the L50 amplifier. $30. Geez, look. Anyway, this has this stuff called NFC, and I believe, like, if you pull the cover off this, you could see this gigantic. Let's see if it shows us a picture of it. This thing right here. So this is a gigantic heatsink on top of, looks like, some Texas Instruments chips, not sure what they are, and some other components. But anyway, that's their, I guess, NFCA special sauce. It's got, like, you know, insane synad, which you can see here. That's, what is it, probably Audio Science Reviews probably did this test. It tests as good or better than anything else you'll see. I mean, in terms of the specs, 125 dB signal to noise, you know, insanely low distortion, all of the metrics and things you might want out of an amplifier. Oh, sorry, 3,500, so 3.5 watts, and 0.1 output, 0.1 ohm output impedance. That's really good. That means that anything you might plug into this is going to won't change tonality. So especially low impedance IEMs, they will not change tonality based on when you plug this guy into this. I don't know, compared to, you know, other amplifiers have higher output impedance, and then they would have lower bass and possibly other effects, maybe higher treble. Yeah, so, you know, it is actually cool that you can pass, like I said, plug this into your rig and you can pass through. So it could be on or off. You could use another device and just, you know, hook this in line. And that's actually a nice feature, so you're not switching stuff constantly around. Let's just flip over to, so I took as much, well, I opened this as much as I could. And so in this picture, we can see right in here, the blue heatsink has got that NFCA stuff. And then we have Nichicon capacitors. And I believe that says Muse. So those are their high-end audiophile capacitor line. Really nice to see that. And then over here we see some more Nichicon, bigger caps. And again, the blue heatsink here, but I can't really tell much other than that. Also, I couldn't pull this apart easily because it seems to me like there's screws under this plastic plate and or the knob here. Since this is a review unit, I'm not going to break it, so that's as much as I could show you in terms of the internals. Now let's talk sound. So, if I had to put a word on this guy, I would call it flat. That meaning that it really comes across like all frequencies are extremely even on it, no matter what I plug into it. However, if I compare to something like a Burson Playmate 2, it's got a Sparkos op amp, then there's, you know, a few ways you could take this. One being that the Burson may have pushed mids and, in other words, more of a mid focus on the Burson compared to this. Now, I don't know which you'd want to consider the correct, you know, impression. However, I would say that this is, that is the topping. It's probably going to be closer to like an ES100 or like a Apple dongle compared to the Burson, which is more like very, very organic, wide, and warm tonality. This is, for lack of a better word, it's got sort of that digital thing going on to it. But it's, you know, not digital, it's just an amplifier, but very, very flat. It has actually, most of the headphones I try this on, they actually have a bit more sub bass. And so when I'm listening to things, it actually comes across like a little more sub bass and a little bit more OCD details. I'm not entirely used to that because most of my amps aren't like that. But so this comes across a little tiny bit V-shaped compared to my other amps. And this is very minor, and it probably depends on, you know, what you're plugging into this. But that's my impressions of the overall sound. In terms of, like, you know, other things, the staging, the wideness, I feel like amplifiers basically do all the same, you know, thing, give or take. But I do think that this edges on the side of flat and clinical versus my favorite emotional amp in the universe, the A-Un B1S. Just a pure amplifier. So I just wanted to mention that this, for me, the A-Un has definitely more emotional mids. and a little bit less bass, and a little bit less OCD treble. And whereas this has more of those metrics. And I feel like, with amplifiers, synergy matters greatly, just massively. So depending on what you're feeding into this and out of it, you may get, slightly different impressions than I do. I do feel like that this, the low output impedance is going to work really well with low output impedance headphones. So I've got the Soft Ears RSVs, and to me, they sounded absolutely phenomenal on this guy. Whereas, something like this is actually a retuned Olina. It's called the Unknown Soldier, but this comes across really, really, really thick on this thing, more so than the Burson, which is, I don't know, interesting. Again, I don't know if it's better or worse, but it is what it is. So, many thanks to Apos Audio. Like I said, I can't really test this on the big cans. It's not my deal, but really sensitive IEMs, it does a really good job. As far as the background, very black, no noise, absolutely none. So that's definitely a positive metric for most folks. It's relatively small and light. Should fit, on a desk in terms of that sort of stuff. No problems. Good high quality. Like you could, the internal components on this are extremely high quality, at least from what I can see. Knob feels great. It's not janky or any of that crap. Good quality connectors, good quality switches. It should be a lifetime styled amp, assuming that I don't know about some electrical problem with it. But anyways, would I recommend this? I recommend somebody would listen to it and combine their headphones and decide for themselves whether or not they would like it compared to whatever else they've heard. I personally like it, but only with maybe half my headphones. The other half would probably go with some of my other stuff. So cool. Thank you, Apos Audio, for letting me borrow this guy and check it out. And I'll get to a review on my next video of in-ear monitors. Right on. Thanks a lot, folks. Talk to you on the next one.